What's up, guys? Hold on a second. What's up, guys? Nope, that's not it either. Saw dudes. Nope. That is not the one. Saw dudes. Nope. Gosh, what is up? Why can't I get it? Saw dudes. Yeah, that was the one I was looking for. What's up, guys? It's your boy Pittman. Man, these blinds behind me are making a weird effect on my head. It's making me look like all Ripley and whatnot. Anyways, today I have decided to do a check-in, just to kind of update for you guys, see where I'm at with the creature feature that I call my brood. All my pretty little lovelies. No feeding today. I'm not going to really make this a feeding video, but just to give you guys an update on where I'm at, figured I'd do so. Disclaimer, one of them is going to be fed today, and she's a little finicky, so her segment's gonna be kind of in the feeding tub, but like I said, this is not a feeding video. This is more of an update video to show you guys where I'm at. So that being said, I didn't want you guys to be like, wait, he said it's not a feeding video, but I know that tub. I know it. It's not for that. It's just, you know, it's basically just where she's gonna be when I open that lid, when she jumps out, because she's still kind of doing that. You know, I just want to have a safe space for her to jump out into, a safe space. But other than that, it's time. So, kicking off the lineup is the one, the only, the not-so-banana Xana. She is munching on her. You know, I don't really do outtakes, Xana. This is it. It's all one shot. It's all one shot. Yep. We shoot it and then we boot it. And that's it. Man, the camera quality on this new phone is crisp. Like McDonald's Sprite crisp. I love it. Hey. I'm going to actually show you guys a little something. Hold on. Okay, so she likes to do this thing where I made a video the other day that has her in it, and I said she is the most feline dog of all time that I've ever seen, but she's never been raised by cats. One of the things that she likes to do is when I get home from my day, she immediately wants me to pick her up and start holding her. Not as an infant, no rocking this little girl to sleep. She wants me to hold her like a toddler. So I'm gonna see if I can walk out the door and trick her into thinking I'm leaving, so I can show you guys that. So let me see if I can get a better vantage point here, because I'm filming by. All right, you be good. I'll be back. I love you. I love you. Hey, oh goodness. Okay. Oh, my baby. Oh, okay. I'm home. I know. Did you miss me? Did you? Did you? Oh my goodness. So what are we doing today? We're gonna play with the toy. Alright. Let me lock that so nobody gets in here. Yes, my dog likes to be babied because she is baby. Baby for the win. Do not jump. Don't. Okay, so you met Xana. She's an awesome dog, and she has helped me get through quite a bit. But what you may not know is that unrelated to her, there's also this guy right here, with this mind that says, hey, I have quite a bit of creatures that I live with, and sometimes I gotta get a little tinkerish with some stuff, because the things that I need aren't always readily available. Like, there's things that I need that I can't just go down to the local pet store, whether it's family owned and they get all the crazy off-brand stuff that you normally wouldn't find in a regular pet store, or, you know, maybe the things that you would find in a pet store, they're just outrageously expensive. So, a couple of things that I like to do is, for one, I like to actually build the home of something that I'm about to put something in. And it's really easy. Most of my pets, the upkeep is really cheap. Mainly because, like, a lot of the stuff you can just either go outside and grab, or, you know, you can actually find already around the house. Like, so I have some baby widows, and they're tiny, so they have to eat the flightless fruit flies. I hate saying that so much, but I don't know if any of you have ever dealt with flightless fruit flies. They're a nightmare. As soon as you open a bottle, you know, or tub, or whatever you're getting them from, everywhere. They're just everywhere. So, trick to that, and I don't know if anybody knows this. So what we're going to do is we are actually going to flip this camera here, and I have some flightless fruit flies right here. So as you can see, they're crawling around everywhere. They're all over the place, and what I need to do is get inside. So I made this. Now, what is that? This was a 2-liter bottle of Coke. And this was also a lid to a deli dish. What I've done was I cut the lid off of, well, I cut both, actually, and I super glued them together. So, you need to get into your tub of flightless fruit flies. Check this out. Alright, we are going to take this elsewhere. So, right now, this is my favorite spot to demonstrate stuff. So, flightless fruit flies. How do I get them out? Well, it doesn't involve the dog who is begging for attention right now, of all times. Of course you would, while my fingers are still drying from super glue. Go on. Over there. Okay. So, as you can see, crawling all over the place. Now, when you want to open the tub, you have to knock them down. They're not really good at gripping onto surfaces, especially if the surface is smooth. So, again, if you want to get into them, tap it, they'll all fall to the bottom. Now, you're going to have to keep tapping it as you do things, because they are very fast. And, wha-bam. And I have now attached this thing, which, when I want to pour in the flightless fruit flies, I can just tap them into the bottle. And I now have flightless fruit flies ready to be poured out. Just undo the cap there. And then pretty much if I want to basically take this off, put on the other lid. It's same principle, just tap them down and they all go to the bottom. And that's pretty much that. So, as all of you are probably aware of by now, I keep a lot of spiders, like a lot. And didn't mean to zoom out there. And my laundry is done. And I still haven't cleaned up my son's toys from the table. Anyways, so spiders are super easy to keep. They're probably one of the most easiest pets that you could ever have. This is actually a prime example of it. I have widows, and they will never outgrow these. These cups were literally $1 each. And the substrate, just $8 for a big bag of substrate. You would almost think it's fertilizer, but it's not. Or potting soil mix. It's not. It's actually coconut fiber. It's really cheap. So, how much do these sticks cost? Absolutely nothing. I went outside, grabbed them from outside, and you can bake sticks, all that cool stuff. Gosh, this super glue is really bugging me. So, anyways, I'm going to actually separate the baby widows. I'm actually going to do 2 per cup for now. As far as lids go, how do I keep them in these things and keep them with air? Because some of you have seen those guys, and they are tiny, 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 tiny. So, what I did was these cups came with these lids. Now, that little hatch pattern that you see right there, that's actually a wire cover that gets glued on the back of these. This little paper that I use, that is parchment paper for baking, pretty much. It's porous. Air can get in and out very easily. And what I pretty much did was they didn't have any lids at the store that had any of this readily available, so I just took parchment paper and I applied it to the lid itself. So that's how I'm going to secure these widows. That's actually why I'm complaining so much about super glue, is because in between the introduction of Xana and now, I've been very, very busy. Very busy. I'm so tired. Alright, so first up on the list is actually the Stop It, Xana. Not for you. Is actually the newest edition of my collection of snakes. It is the angry girl of them all. The angriest girl of them all, I should say. Miss Lapras. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Say hi. She is not saying hi. She's like, nah, bro, I'm keeping an eye on you. Anyways, let's flip this camera here, like so. And, nope, see? She is the angriest of all girls. What is up with this? This camera was doing so good on keeping everything so crisp and so clean earlier. Focus. Focus. Seriously, focus. Why is it not focusing? There we go. Goodness. Phones, man, I'm telling you. Phones are a trip. It's like all they know how to do is tick me off. Anyways, she is a baby black racer. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try to feed her tonight in a feeding tub. Let's see. Okay, now we're doing this thing again. You're okay. You're okay. Xana, I'm not talking to you. I'm allowed to give my other pets attention. Now, if you're wondering where I got her, because some people will be like, hey, if she's a black racer, why didn't you just get one from outside? I guess in a way I did and I didn't. I actually rescued her at work. I found her inside, but she is wild caught. She wasn't from a breeder. And I figured, you know what? She came with me a lot easier than most black racers, and maybe my heart was big enough for one more. So I brought her home with me. And the story of that is not crazy exciting, but it is still nice. And this is how I ended up with the angriest snake of all time. Hey, hey, hey. Xana, we're still not focusing on you. We are not. Oh, I know. Those are not the kind of kisses I want. So anyways, I'm going to put her in her tub now, and we'll put her in the feeding tub. I'm actually going to try to feed her a Pinky this time. She's been getting crickets because she is still kind of small, but I have a pretty small Pinky that I got for her. She's just staring at me. I can do it too. Alright, anyways, feeding tub she goes. Now, I don't know if you guys remember how long she was when I first got her, but she was definitely not this long. Xana, I promise you, I will get to you in a minute. Jesus. And no, she is not long enough to get herself out of this tub. But once she gets more accustomed to it, she'll try to escape a lot less. They always do. But another thing that she will do is also learn that this is pretty much going to be the tub that she will get her food in. For right now, if I can't feed her in this tub, I'm still going to keep putting crickets in her home and letting her eat from there. But over time, I will eventually pretty much train her to eat while she's in this tub, so that there is the disassociation of handling response and feeding response when I'm pulling her out of her home. So whether it be for interaction or cleaning or feeding. And that's actually the best thing that you can do with your snakes. Not only that, the other thing that is also the best thing for you to do with your snakes is to feed them frozen thawed. Yes, I'm touching back on that. I have one snake that eats live, but he's weird. He'll switch back over the frozen thawed, but every now and then it's almost like something kicks in where it's like, nope, give me live. And then he'll do that for a little bit and then switch back over to frozen thawed. But a lot of people say that eating live is more natural than frozen thawed. The only problem with that is eating live is only natural in a natural setting. Keeping a snake is pretty much unnatural all around. There is no natural setting to feed a snake in if it's not being fed out in the wild. So in the wild, where your snake is constantly in ambush position, ready to strike at an unsuspecting prey, the captured snake, the one in captivity, the one in care, however you want to really pronounce that, that snake is not in the same environment, and neither is that food. The moment you get a hold of that food and take it out to put it in a snake's tank, which I really don't like feeding my snakes in their tank, I've already explained why, but the moment that food is introduced to whatever you're using to pick it up and put it... Are you okay? Yeah, I'm actually addressing you now. Are you okay? All right. Anyways, where was I? Gosh, my dog does such weird stuff. Oh yeah, the moment you take that food and grab it in any sort of way, fight or flight is immediately kicking in. and then as soon as you drop it, your snake's not really going to give it time to calm down and put it back in ambush position, or an ambush situation where the prey is unsuspecting. That prey, it's it's already stressed out. The elevation of adrenaline is already heightened. It's already doing its thing, and it's ready. It knows that something's wrong, but it doesn't understand what, and all it knows is, well, I'm about to die, possibly. So, that's why frozen thawed is actually the best way to feed your snake in care or in captivity. Again, however you want to pronounce that. The reason being is when you have that prey that's already stressed out and freaking out, and you got that fight or flight kicking in, that thing could easily turn around and bite your snake. And the next thing you know, you got some pretty visceral lacerations that either a vet will not be able to take care of, or it will, and then you got yourself a hospital bill. And, all of a sudden, all that natural feeding that was highly promoted is out the window. Because in the wild, that hardly ever happens. So, anyways, hey, baby girl. Oh, man. She's too small for that to hurt. I'm just trying to get her ready for striking, because I want to try to entice her with her frozen thawed now. I've been letting it get to body temp, but yeah, pretty much keeping it in my pocket, letting it warm up to body heat. Yeah, come on. Get that feeding. Oh, you actually latched on. Get that feeding response going. But anyways, like I said, this is not going to be a feeding video. This is just a current update as to everybody that's currently living within my brood. Alright, so up next is my second youngest snake. This is Xana. Come on, go lay down. Go lay down somewhere. I know. The snakes aren't really that fond of you, though. They aren't. You freak them out. Anyways, this is Kabutops. She is my Everglades rat snake. She is my second youngest snake. One thing you will notice about all my snakes is that none of them are large in scale. They are all but the oldest one is pretty much a species, a variation of colubrid. She has got to be about 3 or 4 years old. These are a semi-arboreal species snakes, which means they like to hide out in trees a lot. You will find them on the ground when they're hunting, but for the most part, they like to kick it up where, the birds and stuff are. Oh, I felt that. Xana, stop it. Gosh, I'm about to go put you in the room. Anyways, she is extremely curious. Not just Xana, but Kabutops. She is very curious. She's currently trying to figure out what's going on with this camera here, why she sees another snake, but can't smell it. As far as the tongue flicking goes, because she sees herself, she's trying to get a scent. That's what that tongue flicking is. They don't have nostrils that can smell, so they try to taste the air. Because basically that's what smell is. Smell is literally just particles of something breaking off, and they're light enough to float away. So everything that you smell, you can actually taste. Only thing I can really reference at this point is, yes, when you tasted that fart that you thought you could only smell, you were eating the fart for real. You were eating fart particles. That came out of somebody's butt and went into your mouth. What are you doing? She's looking at my finger like she's about to bite it. want you to bite it though, because your bites actually kind of hurt. But it's always good to handle your snakes. One thing that really helps out a lot is not only handling your snake, but when you go to handle your snake, for a lot of you first-time snake owners, sometimes what will be really intimidating is when you go to reach inside your snake's tank or tub or whatever you're keeping the snake in, and the snake gets all defensive. Sometimes they don't really think of it as, oh, this is that person that's been picking me up this entire time. They think of it as, I wasn't ready for this. So what you got to do is you really actually have to assert yourself when grabbing these snakes out of their tanks. If you be timid and you keep, every time they strike at you, you flinch back or anything like that, what that is they're going to become defensive and keep striking at you until you leave them alone. So what you do is you just got to reach in there and grab them. Basically, you just got to take control of that moment. Just reach in there and grab them, pretty much as if they are an actual child. Xana, can you go lay down? Okay, if you're gonna be here, you gotta leave her alone. But anyways, yeah, just reach in there and grab them. I know she just got you in the face, didn't she? She's trying to wrap around my arm. Ooh, there's the squeeze. She's anchoring herself right now because she's trying to figure out where she can go before she tries to take off. She's testing those waters. Actually, if you look right here, you'll notice it's a little thicker in that section right there than most other spots. Why is that? Because I fed her the other day and she's still digesting. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go put her back now. But this is snake number 2. I have 4 altogether, and so we're gonna go get the second oldest one, and we'll continue the video with her. Say bye. Are you gonna stop the video? You wanna do that? Hit the red button. No, hit the red button. The red, 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 the red. Alright, now you're making Xana go nuts. The red, okay. Okay, so this is Ekans, my second oldest snake. She is a California king snake, again, another colubrid species. She might actually bite me in this video, I'm not gonna lie. She does that even after she's eaten, which she has. Hopefully she'll be focused on other things, because she is large enough for those teeth to hurt. But she is a king snake. Not a king cobra, but a king snake. That king name basically does represent a level of cannibalism. She will eat other snakes. But you might notice the coloration. This is going to be a blue and gold dress situation where some of you may see black and white and others may see brown and white. But she is brown and white, not blue and gold either. But yeah, she is pretty docile now. She bites a whole lot less than what she used to. I used to not allow anybody to hold her because, the whole thing with dogs also applies with snakes, and I just don't feel like dealing with that. Hey. But she's trying to figure everything out too. A lot of tongue flicking going on because they're not used to being out here. They're used to being either in my room, where there's a lot more confinement to that, or in their tanks. I don't really take them out to let them roam the house a lot. So, anyways, She is not my first king snake either. I've had a couple of others. My last one was a Brooks king snake. And my oldest snake, I actually traded the Brooks king snake for, and I'll tell you why later on when we get to him. Which he's also the only male snake that I have too, by the way. And also, he's the only snake I have that's not a colubrid. But these snakes, as the name implies, are indigenous to California. They help keep their rat population down. They also help keep the population of venomous snakes down. As I said earlier, these snakes are carnivorous. Well, cannibalistic, I'm sorry. Which technically is carnivorous. But they are cannibalistic. They will eat other snakes. The way snakes eat other snakes is pretty cool, especially when they're trying to keep themselves from getting bit by a venomous snake. What they'll actually do is they'll bite down on the back of their head and then kind of just like choke them out from there. And then as they're choking them out, they'll start maneuvering because their jaws are pretty much as prehensile as, a monkey's tail is. So what they'll do is they'll start maneuvering the head into a position where they can start swallowing the head pretty much face first. That way, they don't run the risk of getting bit by this venomous snake that is on the menu. I can hear somebody's car alarm going off. Thankfully, it's not mine. Well, guys, that's Ekans. We're going to put her back, and then we'll get to the final snake. You are the final girl, but not the final snake. She's so gorgeous. Alright, so this little noodle, this is Magmar. He is the Kenyan sand boa. And some of you have seen pictures of Kenyan sand boas, and yes, they are as derpy as they look in the pictures. These guys are so cute, but the level of derp is astounding. Now, one thing about these guys is they are very timid. They're easy to get along with. I would say that, honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that you're literally holding a snake that you will never see when it's in its enclosure, this is the perfect snake for literally anybody and beginners. This is the only snake that I have that's never struck at me. It's never bitten me, ever. Actually, I consider this to be more of my son's snake. Well, it's a snake that's more geared towards, for my son. When he was when he was like a toddler, he started gaining an interest in all the animals. And that king snake that I had mentioned with Ekans, I had a Brooks king snake. And her feeding response was really intense. Really good, just really intense. But I could just never get her to calm down. And at that time, she was my only snake. And so, which, by the way, this is my oldest snake so far. But because she would never calm down, I wanted to be able to introduce my son to snakes without something traumatic happening for him, like a snake biting him. And then he's got that fear of snakes. I didn't want to instill a rational fear based on a momentary concern. Anyways, so I traded the Brooks king snake for this Kenyan sand boa so that I could help teach my son more about snakes, and so that he doesn't have those irrational fear of snakes that a lot of people tend to have. He's trying to burrow right now. That's what I meant by a snake that you'll never see when it's in its enclosure. Man, you are trying to burrow into my skin. You're not going to get into my skin. I'll put you back in a minute. Just hold on. You're okay. These guys, they burrow. They are what's considered fossorial. Fossorial is it technically it just means that you live underground. Living standards, pretty much, there's three types. There's arboreal, fossorial, and terrestrial. Terrestrial is pretty much you live above ground. Again, these guys are fossorial. They burrow themselves underground, and when they're ready to eat, they'll poke their little derpy heads out, and when something walks by, they snag it and drag it under. It's actually pretty cool to watch. This guy is eating small, juvenile and baby mice, pinkies for the most part. But yeah, they're also, again, Kenyan sand boa. It says it right in the name. They're from Kenya. These are African snakes. One of the few snakes from Africa that doesn't want you dead. There's also some hognose species from Africa that aren't that bad. But yeah, I love this guy. As goofy as he is, I absolutely love him. Again, my phone and focusing are just on two totally different pages right now. You need a bath, sir. You need a bath. I'm going to give you guys baths this weekend. Bath time. Not you. You've already had your bath. Anyways, bath time. She loves baths. So, when it comes to bath time, how do you wash a snake? Pretty much the way I do it is I clean up their feeding tub and I fill it. I have an all-natural shampoo that I actually use for her, all natural ingredients. And I put a little bit in the tub, and then I put some warm water in it, and they just slither around in it. And that's how they pretty much clean themselves. So this guy's ready to go back down. I'm pretty sure he's tired, and he's also tired of this and tired of not being underground. Like I said earlier, he was trying to burrow himself into my skin, which, of course, that's a problem for not just him, but that's mostly a problem for me. So we're going to go put him back and tell everybody bye, Magmar. And that is the end of the snake collection. All right, so that's it for the reptiles. I did have a bearded dragon back in the day. But we thought it was a he at first, but it turns out he was a she. Ugh, wow, it is getting late. Anyways, she is actually with my son and his mother. He gets a lot more attention with them, which is better for her in the end, because she used to be very judgmental and very temperamental, but my son has so much more time than I do to interact with her, so she's in a better place pretty much. Maybe when things slow down again, because with bearded dragons you actually need to spend more time with bearded dragons than you do snakes and all the other animals that I have. And it wouldn't be fair for her to stay with me when she could be getting more attention somewhere else. So anyways, she's with my son and his mother, and she is in some pretty great care there. But now, the main event, pretty much, the part that you guys are always so morbidly curious about. I hear it all the time, how much you guys are so terrified of these guys, but these are the ones you want to know about the most, which is awesome, because the best way to kill a fear is to learn more about it. So anyways, starting off the list here is going to be Gargan. So Gargan is a dictator scorpion, and he's all like, let me out of here, let me out, I'm ready to crawl around and catch some bugs and eat. Let's turn this around because he's really focused on that section there. And that's a hard shot to get. And we'll even throw some light on. Ooh. Anyways, this is Gargan, my dictator scorpion. He's not the newest of my arachnids in the collection, but he is one of the youngest in terms of the yawns. Goodness. But anyways, yeah. I used to have him in a huge tub that just took up a lot of space. And he would only utilize one part of it, and that was underneath the water dish. And here he actually gets out more and stuff like that. Maybe because it's just not so big. I did notice that with the scorpions, if you gave them too big of an enclosure, they kind of, except for my Asian forest was always really angry all the time. Before it passed away, I always thought that, just like me, that dude would be just too angry to die. The two scorpions that I had before, they were named Scorponok and Hanzo. This guy, again, this is Gargan. If you noticed, I named my scorpions after famous scorpions in the media. Gargan comes from Mac Gargan, and some of you already know this and have already been screaming it out or are screaming it out now, but Mac Gargan is from Spider-Man. Yeah, he is. He is actually the Scorpion in the Spider-Man series. At one point, he even, bonds with the Venom symbiote, and he becomes one of the most not only iconic Venom wearers of the Venom symbiote, but one of the most brutal wearers of the Venom symbiote. I think my favorite host to the Venom symbiote is honestly my favorite Spider-Man, which was Superior Spider-Man. And that became a done deal when, oh my goodness, when Superior Venom just wiped the floor with the Avengers. I was like, this is it. There is no better Venom than this guy. But I digress. That's a conversation for a different time. Anyways, Gargan here, I've never seen him use the stinger on his tail for anything. Honestly, I really haven't. I've seen him get defensive. I've seen him eat. I've seen him kill food out of frustration and not eat it. But these guys, they pinch. And they pinch. Like, I've seen them pinch things and just like sever heads or just crush things with just one claw and then just throw it to the side and call it a day. Like, these guys have a personality that's just like, nah, bro, not dealing with it. Not now, not ever, And I love it. It's pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. So whenever I get those moments, those moments don't come too often, but whenever I get those moments, I'm just like, all right, all attention is on you, buddy. Like, you got my attention. Daddy's eyes are locked on you right now. So, well, anyways, I'm going to get this guy out of the spotlight and put him back in the room. I'm also going to feed him because this is pretty much what he does when he's ready to eat. So, that's Gargan. Alright, so up next, gosh, I don't know why it zooms in like that, but anyways, still trying to get used to this phone. Up next, I have 3 slings here. What are slings? Slings is basically short for spiderlings. And these are 3 of my youngest tarantulas. So we'll start all the way over here with my Brazilian redhead. the Maraca cabocla. This one is actually I literally just said that it's a Brazilian redhead, and I was about to say this one's from Brazil, as if I didn't just say that. Anyways, this one's named Barricade. Before I go forward, full disclosure, yes, I name all my tarantulas after Decepticons. There's only 2 in my care that are not, and that's only because they were already named before they came to me. So you will see those later on, but for now, I present to you Barricade. Just make sure Barricade's not about to run out. And, oh, let's get some light going here. There we go. Oh, I know. I will put an end to the light. Once Barricade gets a little bigger, I mean, it seems like it might be in pre-molt. I can see that little spot that usually happens before a molt. But anyways, once Barricade molts a couple more times, or maybe just one more time, I think a couple more times, I'll go ahead and increase the size of its home. I've been keeping this substrate kind of moist lately because, I'm not gonna lie, I have a little bit of a paranoia. My very first cabocla died from a bad molt. It got stuck in its molt, and I tried everything to assist it. And ever since then, that was the last time that I did not keep a moist substrate during pre-molt. Especially for this one. It might be, the paranoia of what happened back then, but I just want to make sure that doesn't happen again. As you can see here, redhead, very obvious name. Why, camera? Why? Thank you. Okay, let's try it again. And bam, there we go. Redhead, very obvious. Its head is red, and the rest of it is not. When these guys get older, they do have a very pretty black body with the red head. And I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on this and call it a night on Barricade here. Too young for me to find out a gender at this time. And no, this isn't because I'm PC or anything like that. It's literally because it's too young. I would need a microscope just to find that out. Up next, this is going to be my Brazilian black and white, or my Nandu colorat, the hash slinging, the sash ringing. Anyways, Nandu colorativola, Nandu colorativillosus. Nandu colorativillosus. Anyways, I got it. Let's take off the lid now. Black and white, as you can see. It's got those white bands on its legs. Ooh. We might have to put the lid on pretty quick. Let's let it calm down. Okay. I might have to actually turn the fan off. That might be what's doing it. Because those, as I've explained before in some of my other videos, those hairs are really sensitive. They not only pick up changes in wind, but they're really good at picking up sounds as well. Actually, that little brown spot right there, you see that? That light brown looks pretty fuzzy, just randomly sitting there right underneath its, right below its legs. That's part of its molt. That's actually a piece of molt that I did not pick up when I grabbed its last molt. So that's actually the carapace of the head. But anyways, yes, the black and white, we are going to start seeing black and white bands on its legs as it gets older. Again, I do not know what the gender of this is because I don't have a microscope for that kind of stuff. And, you know, if I don't know what kind of gender it is, I don't want to start putting pink or blue booties on it. Alright, so Nanai. Actually, I do need to feed you, so I'm going to feed that in a little bit at the end of this segment here. Now, this one's a little easier to say than Nandu chromatus. This is my Brazilian red and white. This guy actually likes to burrow. But, oh man, yeah, that fan, I need to turn that fan off. That's what's triggering these guys. As you can see, those hairs are flying around like crazy. I was trying to figure it out, like, yo, why? Plus, I'm sure the light isn't helping too much either. So I'll go ahead and make this one quick. Actually, all of these are indigenous to South America. All three of these are indigenous to South America. I actually have a lot of South American species of tarantula, not a lot of North American. I think, if anything, I probably have 2 tarantulas that are North American species. Nope, I'm down to 1 because the other one passed away earlier this year. That one was a male, and it was a male Texas tan tarantula. And I had him for about like 5 to 7 years. So he had pretty much maxed out. He was an old man. Just wait until you hear how old my oldest one is. My oldest one is actually older than my son. So, but anyways, yeah. So, ooh, I didn't even tell you the name of the one before this. The Nando colorativillosus, that Brazilian black and white. That one's name is actually Straxus. This one is Overlord. Again, keeping it with the Decepticon names here. And I do need to feed this guy as well tonight, so we're going to do that too. Oh, yep, there it goes down into its burrow. Look at that butt. Look at that butt. As you can also see, that shimmer there, it's been laying down webbing. Actually, while we're on that subject, one thing that separates tarantulas from other spiders is, and you can always tell a tarantula by this as well, that thing that kind of looks like a spike, those are actually 2 spinnerets. Tarantulas have external spinnerets, while other spiders have internal spinnerets. They all work the same way. They produce a protein compound that ends up turning into silk once it hits the air and dries up. And yeah, it is, and I'm pretty sure you've all heard this before. Ooh, are we seeing some digging action here? Ah, snap. Wait, now you're ruining it. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Gosh, where was I going with that? Spinnerets, proteins. Oh, yes, spider silk. It is extremely strong. I have one that I'm going to show you guys in a little bit. You will hear how strong this webbing is. But yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and put these guys back. I'm going to feed the 2 that need to be fed, and I will grab the others. Okay, so up next is Mr. Breakdown. So, Breakdown is an Aphanopelma cowcodes. which is the Arizona blonde tarantula. If you can spot them, that'd be awesome, because I cannot. And the reason being is I moved him into a larger home because this one had opened up, and he was also getting bigger. Out of all the slings, he is the oldest, and he is currently in here. Ooh, jumpy. I don't know if any of you guys remember this one, but he was a lot smaller than this the last time I got him on film. I believe he was. Yeah, well, technically he was, because he molted. He just molted not too long ago. Maybe like a couple weeks ago. Where are you going? Spending all your time in here. You spend no time with me. You spend no time with your father. And when I try to get pics, all you want to do is stay in your room like, Dad, you're embarrassing me, Dad. Yeah, stop embarrassing me, Dad. Gosh, get out my room, Dad. I am extremely tired. I'm not going to lie. I am very tired. What is that? Huh. Whatever that is. I guess a little gnat got in there. Anyways, yeah. Again, this is the only species of tarantula that I have that's actually indigenous to the North Americas. No, I take that back. Oh, I just realized I do have another one. When you get to a point of forgetting just what exactly you have. But anyways, I might as well just grab that one next. Ooh, sleepies. Look at the dedication I'm putting in for you guys. Okay, as we start getting into the larger tarantulas, I have decided to get my temperament brush. It is a soft bristle paintbrush, and pretty much it's used to safely find the temperament of your tarantula. Basically, what you're going to do is pretty much just like brush the soft bristles against either the front or rear of your tarantula, and its reaction pretty much tells you how it's currently feeling, so to speak. In this instance, I'm not going to be picking these guys up because I'm trying to film and present at the same time. So the other use of this brush is to just redirect it back into its tub if it tries to crawl out. So anyways, we're going to start with Abominus here, my Brachypelma hamori. As I was saying earlier, I have two tarantula species from the North Americas, and this is the other one. This is also known as the Redney tarantula. I believe. Ooh, calm down there, lid. I believe that this one may be a male, just on coloration alone, but the growth rate is also kind of suggesting female. So, oh goodness, man. I am ready for 9/9. That is exactly what I'm going to do when this video is over, is I'm going to go to bed. But anyways, as soon as I get a molt off of this one, I'll be able to let you guys know if it's male or female. But other than that, yeah, I'm going to give this one some water and put it back in its rightful place on the bookshelf. Just so still. Okay, so next one if you remember me saying earlier about hearing how strong the web is, we're going to move over to this one. And this is Quake, my Chromatopelma cyanopubescens. I think that's how you say it. But this is the green bottle blue. And I'm actually suspecting this one to be male. Okay. These guys web like crazy. They web like nobody's business. If you want to get a tarantula that puts down really thick layers and lots of web, definitely get yourself a GBB. That's actually a defensive pose right there. It's trying to tuck itself in, protect its head and its abdomen. Again, I'm not going to be pulling these guys out because it's already hard enough to film this by myself. So, now you guys might be wondering, and some of you already know, with the amount of feeding that I have to do, what exactly am I feeding everybody? It's a mixture of stuff, actually. It could be crickets, superworms, mealworms, but for the most part, as of now, their diet mostly consists of a food source that I breed myself, and it's homegrown. It's locally sourced because it's literally about 5 steps away from their bookcase or their bookshelf. They are dubia roaches. I have a dubia roach farm. And for legal reasons, I have to say that is a joke. It's literally a joke. I actually breed discoid roaches. Dubia roaches are illegal here in the state of Florida because of how invasive they are. And I'm pretty sure if that law was in effect before discoid roaches were introduced, then I'm pretty sure discoid roaches would have been mandated as an illegal roach to bring into the state of Florida. But I do have a colony of discoid roaches that I breed to keep the cost of feeding down, because these guys, they do eat a lot, and it would be expensive to constantly be cycling out crickets and mealworms, and for some of them, mice. It would get expensive after a while. So like I said, most of their diet is actually discoid roaches. And no, I'm not grabbing discoid roaches from underneath the fridge or in corners of the apartment. I do keep them in a bin. I have been doing this since like 2010, guys. I know what I'm doing at this point. But anyway, so this is Quake, my GBB. I don't know if I said it, but that red knee, its name was Abominus. Again, still keeping up. I'll let you guys know when I reach one that isn't named after a Decepticon. Alright, so next up is Trypticon, my Lasiodora parahabana. Again, we're going to be going all the way back down to South America. And this is also known as the Brazilian pink salmon. Now, this is actually the largest species of tarantula that I have. It's not the largest species of tarantula that I've ever kept. I did at one point have a Goliath bird eater. I can't remember if it was a Goodness, I need sleep. can't remember if it was a T Blondie or a T Sturmy, but it was basically like a sub-adult when it passed away on me. I got it as a rescue, so I'm not sure what was going on before I got it, but yeah, it lasted for like a couple months before it finally passed away, which was sad because, you know, I did all I could, and it was the first rescue to ever just not make it. All my other rescues, they did just fine, because that one actually came in with an emperor scorpion, and that emperor scorpion passed away, I think, in March or April, and it was an adult, and I think it was in its final instar, because it was a decent size, and all those years that I had it, it never molted, so it was probably like a 7 or 8th instar. But yeah, that Goliath bird eater, like I said, it really just didn't make it past a couple of months, and yeah, I don't know if that was something that I did. I would hope not. But I also don't know if it was also just a result of the care it was receiving before it came to me. But anyways, I actually had another one of these for you guys who've been following me for the longest now. Some of you might remember the last LP that I used to have, the one that was massive, the one that was bigger than my hand, and that one was only a male, and which means that wasn't even as big as they could get. But yeah, he pretty much timed out as well. I had him for years, but yeah, he timed out. He passed away when I was living down in Fort Myers. I think it was like sometime last year. But I had gotten him as a birthday gift back in 2000, I believe it was 2013. I had him. So I had him for about 4 to 5 years. Or no, 2013. Yeah, for about 5 years, almost 6 years. And yeah, he just passed away from old age. They just get to a point where they just get old, and then eventually one day you wake up and their bodily hydraulics aren't working in their legs anymore, so they just curl up because that blood's not flowing anymore. So he was cool though. He was the only one to ever get out and not give me a hard time about getting back in. Oh my god. My Phormictopus cancerize has caused a lot of heart attacks. Actually, that LP caused one heart attack, but not from me. Yeah, my son's mother was helping me get it into a larger enclosure, and this guy decided that he was going to trick. He straight up tricked me. He juked the ever living heck out of me too, because he was going in, and all of a sudden he just like psych and just turned around and ran up my arm and just chilled on my shoulder. And I called my son's mother into the room. I'm like, hey, you gotta help me out. And she was on the phone, and at first she didn't want to do anything with it. And I was like, this isn't gonna end any other way without somebody helping me. So I gave her something to kind of help guide it down, and she almost got it in to the enclosure when it did the same thing to her, except when it did it to her, it ran up the lid and it touched her finger. And I don't know how this worked out, but she threw the lid, and somehow this guy jumped into his enclosure before that lid hit the wall. And I just slammed a lid on his enclosure, and I got the old, I'm never doing that again. Don't ever ask me for help again. Blah 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 blah. But that scream though, man, that scream. I'm not gonna lie. That scream was pretty awesome. Anyways, let's move on. That was that was Triptychon. Next is my golden goose, my baby, the one, the only, Blackout. This is my Grammostola pulchra, the Brazilian black tarantula. And I had searched for years for this girl. And I specifically wanted, and I'm not going to lie, she is the most expensive tarantula I've ever purchased in my life. I paid $120 for her, and she's now 3 or 4 times the size that I got her than she was when I first got her. I would have to say like she's probably 2 or 3 actually times the size that I got her then. But yeah, $120. I never spent before her. I had never spent more than like $50 on a tarantula. I'd always been able to get them at pretty decent prices. Either that or again, through my rescue. But man, when I don't know if they're still around. I've tried emailing them and I get no responses now, but I believe it was K&T Exotics here in Florida. Hey. You're gonna stay in there. Blocked. You have been blocked. Oh, look at those little toes. Look at those little toes. They're so precious. Anyways, I was at Repticon, as I usually am, and I went straight over to her booth and was like, hey, what's up? What you got? And she was like, I've been waiting for you. And I had been emailing her back and forth about, the possibility of getting one of these and everything like that. And she had exactly what I wanted. And I mean, to guarantee a female, it wasn't going to be a sling. And normally when I get my tarantulas, I get them as slings because I want the most time with them and everything. But the awesome thing about these is not just that velvety blackness. Oh my God, she is sexy. But anyways, it's not even just about that velvety blackness. These guys live forever. Females in the Grammostola species, they live for a while, especially those rosies and the poteries and these pultras here. These are very patience orienting tarantulas because you got to have a lot of patience. They grow really slowly, but because of that also means that you get to spend a lot of time with them. Gosh, I think I can't remember if I was living in Lehigh when I got this one or if I was living in Sebring still. Oh, I'll have to think about that, but yeah. Oh yeah, I got her back in 2016. That's when it was. 9/11 of 2016. So she's coming up on 4 years old. And this is how big she's gotten in 4 years. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and let her go back. Come on, go back down. You need to go back in. Look at them fangs. Alright, enough of that. Nope, it's time to go back in. You're being mushed. You're being mushed. You got to go back down. Oh, jeez. I was not expecting that, not gonna lie. And yes, I did jump. See, that's why I have this brush, though. Alright. Can't wait to watch that later. Go on. I don't want to close your legs. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Woo, can't wait to watch that. Again, we got another Weber. This one I had to prepare before we even made the video here. I'm not taking this lid off. This lid stays on. So pray for Zoom. There we go. This is actually a dwarf species of tarantula, and it resembles, gosh, if I can get the focus to work right. That's not what I'm trying to focus on. You know, what is that? Huh, some kind of bug in there. But anyways, there we go. Perfect. This is a pumpkin patch tarantula. I'm not even gonna try the name on this guy. It's because I always sound and feel so stupid when I do, but okay, fine. Hapalopus, Hapalopus Columbia, one of those. Hapalopus, Snuffleupagus. Anyways, this is, again, the pumpkin patch tarantula. It is a dwarf species of tarantula, so whether this is a male or female, it doesn't get to enjoy living as long as the others do on average. But this is actually one that I did not get myself. This is more of an adopted one. So this one is actually named Pumpkin. Go figure. But I got her about 2 years ago. Yeah. Pretty much I had convinced somebody to get their first tarantula, and this one was it. And then eventually I just got to the point where they were like, hey, you do a really great job with your teas. I don't really take care or spend much time with mine. Do you mind just going ahead and taking it on yourself? And I was like, of course. Of course. But anyways, yeah. This one is more than a runner. This one is a sprinter. That's why I said I had to get her prepared, and I refused to take this top off. She was hiding out in here. He or she was hiding out in there, and I had to bring her out because I've noticed that this one is a bit of a pet hole for the most part. So, and if I leave it alone for 5 to 10 minutes, it's just going to go right back in that hole and stay in there. But yeah, I love that orange and black, though. It's pretty awesome. Well, guys, that is the halfway mark. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here and just do another one later after I get some sleep, I'll do a part 2. And let's see, we got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 13. We have 13 more critters to get through. 6 of them I'm going to be rearranging, so that one's not going to be too bad. But anyways, yeah. That's that's a sneeze. Also, I am going to, if you haven't already noticed, I'm actually going to start putting more effort into my YouTube channel. I want to do more stuff with that, so do the like and subscribe. Yeah, do the like and subscribe, hit that notification button so that every time I upload something new, you guys get it too. Because it's not always just stuff that's related to, my own pets and stuff like that. Some of it actually does have me out there doing stuff. But other than that, yeah, like and subscribe. You can also follow me at the links listed below down in the description, the video description. I'll post some links down there. One of them is a invertebrate group that I have on Facebook. If you read the title, it's also a rescue. That's right, a rescue. So, because a lot of people, they get tarantulas and they're like, oh man, this is exotic, it should be cool, right? And then they realize how much time they do not spend staring at a tarantula, or how much activity is not involved with their tarantula, and they're like, oh, this is not as exciting as I thought, so what do I do now? Well, instead of just releasing it into the woods like you should not do with any animal, just hit it up, let me know, and I'll definitely see what I can do to swing by, or see if there's any other members on there, because there's a couple members on there that I'm more than happy to reach out. If you're at a more northern area or a southern area that's just too far for me to get to at that time, there's a couple of people on there that'd be more than happy to come out to you and help you out with that. But in the meantime, like I said, like and subscribe.